Scruff.
So let me tell you what happened to the Scruff McGruff. He got a little bit of trouble because he was trying to tell kids not to do crime or do weed. He's a dog against crime, and then he got 16 years.
Wait, is that regular years or dog years?
Hey, give him an applause.
That's an applause.
See, you are a comedian. I told you.
There you go.
So when police raided his house, they seized 1,000 marijuana plants and 9,000 rounds of ammunition for an assortment of 27 weapons, including a grenade launcher.
Let's go.
Because McGruff must have a lot of enemies. Now, a good guy, the only way you stop a bad guy is have a good guy with a grenade launcher.
You want to know who's Scruff McGruff?
Down. Oh, I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture. Cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels, and with me on the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last woke dragon. Give it up for Zach Rohn, everybody.
Slappy pit. Fuck it.
Oh man, we go out of order one time and you just fall apart.
Yeah, damn.
Just shit the bed. And then a very special co-host with us in studio from parts unknown, King Luffa.
Oh yeah, it's King Luffa in the house. This time the Fresh and Clean podcast try to come in and stink up my place. Well, guess what? I'm the one who's fresh and clean. King Luffa don't play around. And they said King Luffa can't read. You're right. I don't read. That's for boomers.
Reading is for boomers. Everybody knows that. And from the Fresh and Clean podcast, both the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Champion of the world,
Real talk.
BJ Robbins and Nate Robinson. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it.
First of all, champ, let me start.
Let
me start, champ.
Yeah, you got this. I'm just sitting in the back like a champ.
It's an honor to be here, but it's taken us too long to be here because they fear the greatness. Now tell them, champ.
Let me tell y'all both something. What took y'all so long? You know what I'm saying? Like, why the hell it take y'all this goddamn long to hit us up? Like, fucking, like you ain't introduced me to him and shit. You know what I mean? You want to wait now to just bring us both together. But I just got to just shout y'all out, man. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the drinks.
Yeah.
The champ is here.
Thank you. I think you guys paid for him.
That's the other thing I want to say.
I didn't pay for it, so I don't got to worry about that because I'm the champ.
Champ is here.
We like to practice reverse hospitality.
BJ, you try to big time us
That's right.
on our own program.
That's right.
And you try to pay. I'm not going to let you pay. I'm going to pay on the program so they see.
That's the dirtiest rubber band ever.
The line. What'd you call his wallet?
That rubber band is trifling.
Here you go.
What'd you call his wallet earlier, Nate?
It's a dope fiend wallet.
That's BJ. That's
He's a
25.
mechanic.
That's $25. I'm gonna need 5 back.
Hey,
that should cover. That should
I
cover
threw it at him like a
the
trick hole.
entire meal.
hey,
That a bitch.
I don't carry cash in 2023.
This shit's all. You know what it is.
Now, if this is your first time watching this episode, Harder Brunch, this is normally what it's like. King Luffa's in the house.
I feel like we lost a lot of people in the first 2 minutes.
What are they doing?
His name King Luffa, but it smell like outside. Get the fuck
What
out of here.
happened after camp? Are they okay?
It smell like the camp. That's what happened.
They came back different.
This is what they call the what they call the throwaway episode.
This is the filler.
We've had those guests.
Goku just killed Cell. This is the episode right after, nigga. They about to sit and chill.
Right.
No, this is
Nobody's terrified.
Yeah.
No, we're just chilling today. Let's go fishing, Gohan.
Well, we couldn't get your main event. Morgan was supposed to come. She's supposed to be the main event.
Hey, you stop disrespecting.
I'm not disrespecting anybody. I would never disrespect someone that's been doing comedy for a month and 3 months.
She's the women's world
A year and 3
champion.
months.
She's the women's world champion. You know what I mean? She's just not here right now.
no,
She's
I-
out
have
on-
a belt?
She's out on what?
Is she gonna come in with the belt?
She's what?
You better
What
speak
you always say
correctly.
when she's not around? She's out on what?
She's out on assignment.
On assignment.
Yeah,
Is
she's
that right?
a former reporter. She's out on assignment.
No, Aisha's the heavyweight champion of the world.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, you got to drop the belt.
Indianapolis.
You got to drop the belt.
She won.
For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time,
Like a motherfucker.
usually we either have service industry professionals, comedians. We couldn't find either of those.
Damn.
No, actually, you guys are both more comedians than ever now because previously BJ's always just been a podcaster.
I like how
and
you
now,
said me, you guys. Like I ain't been doing this.
no,
shit.
you've been doing it longer
You
than
see what the fuck this is? I'm a champ.
you've been doing it longer than all of us combined.
Hey, they got that back of the bus energy going on here, Nate.
I had to take them off. For a
Hey,
second.
I gotta pay respect where respect's due. Nate's the one that got me straight in comedy. He sat me down and was like, "Hey, this is how you do it." And so I'll never forget that. I was only 3 months in, and you still helping newbies out. So I appreciate
I do the
you.
opposite of what he tells me.
Yeah, he downs them.
When Dad used
goes
to,
down
Dad
and he
used to
down.
stand and face the wall. He would face away from the
Yeah,
audience.
I didn't know.
And Nate was like, "Turn it around, man." Turn it
Nate
around.
teaches you just to walk outside and then make sure to, if your name is called, be somewhat close in premise so you can get up to the stage on time.
Nah,
Oh wait,
not at all.
That's just people that drive me insane at open mics. All right, coming to the stage. He's not here. Where's he at? Like, all right, let's just move on to the next one. Like, why didn't you call my name up?
So for our guests that don't know, you guys have a podcast, Fresh and Clean Podcast.
Yes.
You also run an open mic together, Chicken and
Yes.
Chuckles. Now, is that under the banner of Fresh and Clean?
Yes.
Okay.
It is now. It is. It was under his old podcast, and then it went to Fresh or Clean Podcast. Now it says hosted by Nate Robinson and BJ
Yeah, that's
Robinson.
my dog, bro. I
Yep.
brought him in. He the F to my R, bro. That's my guy.
And how'd you find this guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
y'all put this on. Shout out. First of all, I reached out to you through Facebook.
Yeah.
So I ain't had your number.
That's right.
And just like today. No, I do got your number. But anyways, I hit you up and you was like, man, ask Dyke. Hit up Dyke. Dyke was like, man, I'll set you up. And everything was history. He pulled up on time. No, actually, he was there an hour late. I was an hour late, so I knew the relationship was gonna be cool. He's like, "Oh, he's cool with my CP time. Oh, he's
I
gonna be
was
good."
I was 25 minutes early.
Oh, wow.
So were you testing him, or you just were late?
I just was late.
Okay.
He said, "Well, I tested him,
Let's see
but I
if you
took
can
care
handle
of
me.
him." Y'all pulling up all our shit. What is this? The FBI?
Yeah.
We got some old school photos of
we
the Fresh and
got 'em.
Clean podcast.
Will you confirm to the jury that is you in the picture, Nate? Oh my God.
That's like that's one of my favorite pictures because that's like a 1990s hip hop album right there. Like I'm the DJ, he's the artist.
Why do you guys call it Chicken and Chuckles?
That's all him.
Yeah. Shout out to Irish. She gave me the name. I was just sitting. We were sitting in the bed one time, and I was trying to come up with a name with it. I just wanted to be unique. And there was a bunch of names I could have called it, but she was like, "Call it this." And I looked it up, and I seen that someone else had that name, but it was like back in like 2012. It was in like from a comedian from South Carolina, so I just went with it.
Well, I gotta say, the last place did have chicken. Does this new
Yes,
place actually
it
serve
does.
Man,
chicken?
so look, the chicken at this new spot looked like
I didn't see anybody eating the chicken, which is not a good sign.
Philly cheesesteak, waffle fries, very good.
Okay.
yeah, it got the waffle fries on point, but the chicken, when you get to the chicken, bro, the chicken ain't even grow yet, man. It's like as soon as it came out the egg, and they cooked that motherfucker.
But
Like,
that
the chicken is
seems-
really small, but it's real. It ain't no additives. It's real good
real
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah, it's how
It's,
chicken
it's
used to
a
be.
French version of fried chicken. You
Okay.
know? It's the miniature.
They're small,
chickens,
but they're
yeah.
good though.
It's portion control. 'cause
Yeah,
we
definitely
don't-
portion control.
Well, that seems really on brand with what you guys are doing. Because
Shout
I
out to
mean,
Wonderful. It's
when
about what I
I
want.
go into your place, I mean, there's not all the ceiling tiles. You don't have all the ceiling tiles.
That was the old spot.
We moved.
Oh, you guys moved.
We're
that
at
was
full
13,
ceiling
13.
tiles now.
No, we got everything.
We're at one
Look at
foot.
your eyes.
Nice.
Dyke was there. Dyke was there this week.
Yeah, Dyke was there.
It's nice. Man, it surprisingly has the nicest like outdoor like room I've seen in India. I feel like
It's like a patio, but it's set up real nice. Got a little small little roof over it, so if it rains,
Yeah.
Because I came and picked up Dyke to go over there, and then it was quite the ride. And the weirdest part was we brought our boy Cleophas, who's blind comedian.
shout out to Cleophas.
And then he didn't help me with directions the whole time. You're thinking, well, BJ, he's blind. I get that. But when we finally start heading towards our Pelton Pike and Shadeland,
he knew every street.
And
he's like, turn right. He's like, no, turn right
Yeah.
here. And I'm like,
and they hit a pothole. Oh, I know that one, man. Turn left.
he's like, well, he goes in chuck holes.
He was like a bootleg daredevil.
Yeah, he was. He was a third of the month daredevil.
Yeah. He had the foggles, the goggles, big boys.
Wait, what do you mean?
Cyclops.
3/5 Daredevil? Is that what you just said?
Man, I'm telling you,
No,
bro.
is that what you just said?
He's the black version of Daredevil. Like, he got all the Daredevil capabilities, but just minus the athletic ability. Motherfucker, pull anything. If you need a water, you could be out.
Yeah.
I'm dying. He'd be like, oh, you need a water? I got you, brother. Hold on.
He could smell a barbecue from a mile away and be like, "They got ribs."
Hey, look, the
Those
funniest
ribs
shit
on there.
I ever seen him do, man. I was just pulling up to Chicken and Chuckles late, and got there, and then my homegirl Asia, y'all know Asia Chardonnay, she gets there. She was meeting up. I had her headlining. He was like, "Man, I smell somebody big and beautiful."
He said she smelled thick. I was like, what?
Bro, smelt her. She said she got to be
He
thick.
does do that.
Yeah, smelt her ass out. She's like, she got to be big. He's like, oh, yeah. He gave her a hug. I was like, oh, yeah, you my type. I'm like, anything could be your type. Bro.
He's like the Ray Charles, but like instead of smell. I mean, Ray Charles used to feel the wrist.
He probably could smell cancer.
smells everything.
You got high blood pressure, nigga. You might want to lesson on this.
He's like, your A1C is really high right now.
You might want to chill out with that drink. He names the drink.
This smells like your pancreas quit making insulin at a sufficient level.
You know, she a whole. Oh yeah, she on 30th Street. You want that pussy right now?
And he can tell the age by the smell
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
bro. Nigga, that shit is.
You Virgo, aren't you?
And he smell. Hey, look. He start off every. If he go like this, you already know he knows something about you. He
Yeah.
like the police. Got the little shit that go on and shit.
He's like, she had mud butt in the past 24 hours. Stay away from her.
Rim jaw right there. You can
He
tell
is
by
our
the
number
breath.
one fan, Cleophas. He's a big
he's a-
fan, big supporter. But we do the podcast with another comedian, Morgan Lee.
Shout out to
I feel like most of your fans are people that haven't seen you before.
I feel like most of our fans have disabilities.
I like
I think
how-
they have disabilities.
I like how Thad is just like asking the questions and they're like hitters because they're all for real and they're like real. I'm just over here like,
Hey, one of the funnest podcasts was it was with us three doing a Fresh and Clean with Thad. Check it out. Like it just went off the rails, and you guys killed a freestyle at the end.
yeah, I didn't even know
It was
Thad
so
could
much
freestyle
that, it was so much that I cut it and sent it to you guys before the show even came out. I was like, hey, you guys need to listen to this. And it was great.
Oh, I didn't even listen to that.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Spent hours chopping and screwing that for you.
I'm going to listen to it. It felt like crap at the end. I'm like, oh, I could have done better.
That was a year and a
I'm
half ago.
perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah. It's a year and a half ago, so move fast. That's fine.
No, I tell you what the funniest shit. Thad, when he came and roasted, he came to the roast.
Hey,
The
I
roast
supported
battle.
you. I said, let's get Thad. And people like, oh, no, he won't be good.
And Nate did not.
I didn't. No,
Nate and
I
Dyke.
didn't.
Don't forget Dyke over there.
I knew
Dyke
they was
didn't
gonna come
either.
real because they do roast. I be around people that really roast. So I'm like, okay, I thought they were gonna be good, and
And
they
Zach
weren't.
said, Zach texted me too, and then he was like, big mistake.
Look,
Like,
here's the thing I want to clarify. Here's the thing I want to clarify.
I was cool with him doing it. I was just like, are you sure he should be the roast match? That's all.
Thad is really good at taking shots at people that are funny. Don't get me wrong. He's very good at taking shots, but whenever he like specifies that he's going to roast somebody, it's almost like he's Babe Ruthing like a bad joke. Like, and he would do it a lot of times. There was like a solid year we'd be in Ubers, and like sometimes the Uber driver would say something off color, and Thad would be like, "Oh, I was gonna roast you. I was gonna roast you for a second, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm a professional comedian." And the Uber driver would be like, "Go ahead, man. Like roast me." And he's like, "No, I ain't gonna say it." And he would do that for 45 minutes, and then we would get there. And he was like, "I was gonna say you look like Kevin Hart's uncle.
If he was a gnome.
That didn't help the joke.
Yeah, but
so bad.
It was good. He just did it. His feelings kind of got hurt.
But Thad brought the energy. He was dressed for it. He murdered it. And I knew he'd do a great
Thank
job.
you.
Oh yeah, Thad got it there and just
And
got
I felt
everybody.
like, and that was a great night because I felt like that was my coming out party.
You know what the funniest part was?
Because I just finally got in front of the mic and just started.
you was going in. But
Yeah.
I always told you, yo, you don't have energy when you don't stay. I said, if you bring that energy out, bro, you're going to be funny because you already got zingers. You just don't be confident when you say
I found the stuff to rub on my gums before a show starts.
You got
it
that
works
coat.
well.
Yeah,
it works well.
It's called being around black people.
Wait, do you have to Mr. Ed yourself before you go on stage?
I just
he went and got plasma drawn out and shit. He's ready for us.
I always said Mr. Ed was the Judy Garland of TV.
Well, it's
For
funny.
horses.
So
The Judy Garland of horses. That's what I meant.
Where is that Woodford at?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, where's Judy? She's dead.
she's dead. Yeah.
She did not make it.
she's on After Brunch.
Yeah.
After Brunch.
Is Morgan the Judy Garland? Okay, we're
All right.
I ain't right.
Because you know what hell is, right? It's doing a podcast in a basement. You know that, right?
Hey, this is the studio. It only kind of smells like mildew in here.
Just a little bit.
Dude, it smells like
Partially.
everybody's vinyl collection, so it smells fine.
But time out. We got. Hey, I don't like. This is my house now. Well, we got candles going on here. You're drinking. It smells pretty good.
It should be mad by now.
Yeah, I want to introduce our new sponsor, Huntington Home.
Honey hole?
I'm done. Can you hit the boo button for all of us?
Yeah.
We just went off the tracks.
All the way off.
This actually does smell
Hit
good.
the boo button for the first half of this podcast.
It's gold, Johnny. It's gold. It's gold.
No, I got to say, I listened to your most recent episode when you had our friend of the show, Terry and Ricky Shepard on.
Yeah.
Friends of the show.
AKA my stepdad.
And
Definitely.
it was a really fun episode. I could tell you guys are having fun. My favorite thing was how you guys didn't let the guests talk for the first 15 minutes of the episode.
It's not about them. It is not about them. They don't have to edit this. They don't have to upload it. You guys know. Let's be honest. Like how many guests you have on, and like, oh, that was thanks for showing up, right? And then all you have to do all this work, cook all the. It's not about the guests.
No, when the guest shits the bed, we shit the bed together.
Yeah. I always say,
Trust me, we know. We had that experience, and we're gonna get into that because you already know me. Let's get to the point.
it's a group effort. I will say this: the first time you come on the podcast, it's all about you. The second time, we're just gonna do what
we're
we're
just
gonna
gonna
do.
do. Yeah.
The first time,
But Terry's done several podcasts with me though, so I think that was like
Yeah.
we're so comfortable with it.
well, the first time we had Nate on the podcast, he just started bringing up beefs with people. So he started. It was like the grieving of air.
I was going in. I was
Festivus for the rest of
but
us.
it wasn't like I wasn't lying.
You're dropping producers'
No.
names,
Yeah.
club owners' names.
I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Top of
But
the
I didn't care then. Like,
And then my favorite thing is like Zane got into it and he was just like, so he's like, whatever we can talk about, whatever. This is the after brunch. We're like, no, this is the harder brunch. This is the big show.
That's
bro, you know how much shit I got from that? Like after that, like people hitting me up like on like, dude, I didn't know you did comedy, or wow, I didn't know you've been doing it that long. I'm like, damn, my name ain't shit out here. It's like,
Harder Brunch put you on.
no, it got me booked at a lot of like the white shows, like the alt shows.
Oh, well, that's what's up.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was getting hit up, but like it wasn't until after I did that one. But I'll tell you what though, none of it was lies.
Well, think about like Aisha winning the Helium
Bro, that was
comedy
a big- that-
competition.
bro.
And now it's like, why wasn't she getting booked there before? It wasn't like she just got funny overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah.
Say that.
It's just I don't know. Like, and it's crazy because like I used to think like, all right, it's just the city, it's the politics, but honestly, man, I feel like it just be like the shows. Like they group us in a category of okay, they can just do that, but really we can do anything you put us in that show. We just gonna show our side of that show. Like I feel like a lot of indie shows be the same. Like you got to book somebody in there that can like make people feel a different way, and
Yeah.
I feel like. In 2023 really came together because you remember how the scene was back then. Like people were doing their shows. I feel like me, Aisha, and a couple of black comedians would come out and do everybody's shows.
Yeah.
And that's what made us versatile and go out of town and do shit. So that's how I always looked at it. But I think for her, I just think for her, just not going up there enough.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. That there's a lot of preconceived ideas, like, well, they think this, they think that.
Yeah.
And then there's also people on the other shows that are like, we're trying to get more people, you know?
Like a lot of comedians that have been doing like comedy for a long, like I say definitely 10 plus. They feel like they don't have to do that. Like, all right, I've been doing this enough. You can look me up. All this, like,
it's a new world though.
But exactly. It's definitely a new world. So you can't just go off your past accolades. Like, I was on the phone with a comic. I'm not gonna drop his name, but he was telling me, I used to do this shit at Morty's. I'm like, bro, Morty's like damn near 8-9 years ago, bro. Like, come on, man. If I were a booker, what are you doing for me right now? You know what I mean? Like, I gotta.
Sometimes it's just out of sight, out of mind too. It's just like I just haven't seen this person. I'll forget people that I know were funny. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen Willie Bostick in a minute, and it was like, well, how come I'm not booking him? I know he's funny. You know?
Come on, now.
It's kind of like a DJ that used to be really popular at the skating rink. He's like, man, I used to shut Happy Valley down, but if you're not putting your stuff out on, I don't want an IG. I don't need that.
Nah, you're not gonna go nowhere.
Dinosaur.
With that shit. Come on, you know it. So I feel like a lot of like her stepping out that box of just doing comedy at these spots, because even though they pay more, you're less likely to do more shit because those people ain't booking shows like a alt show to where it's probably more comedians in the audience than goddamn audience members, and you rock that shit. You make comedians laugh, dog. You're funny. So that's always been like my one up.
But one thing I do want to say, I know we joke around a lot. Thad was there for my first show in Brown County, and like I appreciate everything he did. I know it's hard. I know we all play like characters or so, but Thad I appreciate so much. Like, he took care of me. Like, before I was nervous, and so Thad was there for me, and I got done, and
I just like gave you a back massage.
And then he goes, "Hey, you're a comedian now." I was like, "No, I'm not." And he goes, "No, you are." And then he just walked away. He just didn't want to hear anything else from me.
When you were explaining it, I was picturing like Helen Keller and the miracle workers. Like, this is water, BJ. This is comedy.
And then it was one of the best. It was one of the best experiences I ever had, dude. And obviously, I owe the world to Nate, because we started fresh and clean, and because I came off Smugcast podcast, which was hugely successful. And I didn't want to stop doing podcasts, but I just didn't want to take the name Smugcast and keep doing it. Right? You know, I didn't want to, you know, redo the, you know, the Snyderverse type of world, right? Like, Nate came along, and him and I had a lot of things same in common, and we worked it out and worked really well. And then he started Chicken Shuckles, and I came up there the first time. I just went up there and watched, right? And I was like, oh man, like,
it was horrible.
I was like, he needs help.
It was me trying to like, and that's what made me say I just need to get my own shit. And when you walked up to me and said, dude, don't you got your own shit? I was like, I know this is my dog. Like, I've never met somebody that actually cared about what someone else is trying to do. And I feel like we use each other, but because I told him straight up, like, I need a better white following. Like, I like my white following, but it's not enough.
I told him I'd help him with some of my black following too, because I have a pretty good black following. So they've been watching him too. So I helped him both ways.
Yeah, they look out. And then the crazy thing was, when I first started doing Fresh and Clean, I did a show in November, and like 15 white people that listen to this podcast popped up, and they were there before the place opened. So you know, we're just all fashionably late. The place that I was doing the show was late opening up. So they were already there, already eating. So you know, like, look, dog, the show started at like 7. Yeah. I didn't get there till 6:30. Those white people were eating. They had to fucking start the fryer, all that shit, bro. 15 hungry ass white people. They know the show's about to happen. Open up. Them motherfuckers open the spot up. They had like 2 drinks of pizza. They pretty much bro, they took care of everything.
And then he asked them if they knew me. And they didn't.
They were like, well, no, we listen to y'all podcast.
Yeah. So that was one of the coolest moments. It was like, people go out because of, you know, like you guys did with the summer camp. It's like, you don't know them. People show up like, oh yeah, I listened to the show. And you're like, okay. So
dude, somebody came up to me when I was bartending on Friday. I'm like, gin and tonic. He was like, hey, do you have a podcast? It's just so weird, because it's like, I'm a servant at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. So you get called out for being a comedian or whatever in your regular job, and I go, oh, like, I'm embarrassed almost. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Like, and now I'm thinking like, what does this guy know about me? I said so many crazy things on a podcast.
Yeah.
And then just to be out of the
It is
element,
weird.
you know, it's just like, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the weirdest part about it is because I go through and look at the stats, and you look at the other countries and the percent of the other countries that listen to the shows, and I'm like, it's still so weird. And you look at the volume of shows that have been listened to for me since 2016, the amount of people have listened to me just say there's no educational purpose for anything I've ever said, right?
My following in Zimbabwe is ridiculous right
He
now.
said he's a man.
We haven't got any stalkers yet. I feel like you guys got some stalkers from Smugcast.
Yeah, I can't walk down Uganda. Just I was going to book you guys to Uganda. They said you can't come over here, cause a riot. So, but the weirdest part was we made a shirt with my face on it with Smugcast, and so we put it up for sale, and people bought it, and I started getting DMs like, "Hey," and it was like with my face on the shirt, and I was like, "I don't know if I like this." That's when I we scaled back a little bit because it felt like, why are you wearing a picture with my big ass head on there?
Well, you guys also stole a joke from me and made that into a t-shirt.
We didn't steal it.
Yeah, I heard about this.
I'm sorry.
Let's get into this.
We took something that since you have no energy to better yourself, right?
It's before me, y'all.
Pull your bootstraps up, Dyke.
So we actually made you relevant first and foremost.
Oh shit!
Because who's the producer that they told you to call when you needed all your podcasts to get off and running? Who was
they
it?
did you the same way.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Who was it?
B.
That's right. Right.
BJ's the producer they tell you to see when your rap sales are
There's
doing
something wrong with your microphone.
Right.
You're like Suge White.
Who you gonna call?
I would take that.
That may be the episode title right there.
I swear if someone takes my parking spot, I will pistol whip them.
All right, real quick, let's give a shout out to Lincoln Square Pancake House. We had a wonderful away game up there today, and I got to tell you, I love having a Lincoln Square a block away from that. Even though we drove, we were a little.
Hold on, they pay for this?
No, just a shout out.
No, I paid for it.
I don't think so. I think Dyke
No,
Dyke pitched in. I pitched in. He did the tip.
Yeah, no, everybody pitched in or whatever, but I would have picked up the tab. I didn't care.
I would have too. I don't give a fuck.
Shit.
Come on, man. I got my
But
guy.
you would have wrote him
My
a
guy.
post-dated check.
Fuck no. Don't do me like that, BJ. Shit, you seen what I got.
I know, that's why you have what you have,
And that
because
was-
you find ways
but
not
that's
to
not
spend
everything
it.
I got. That's not everything I got.
He's telling me how to be fiscal responsible.
No, sometimes we like to do away games. Obviously, when we had you both have eaten the food over here before.
Yeah, it was good.
So we had a away game at Lincoln Square, and I got to tell you, sometimes it's nice just to go and sit down and be served food. Lincoln Square in Irvington is about a
So
block
good.
away. What'd you guys have?
The Lincoln Skillet.
The skillet?
I had the double order of biscuits and gravy with side of bacon.
Said the double.
Yeah. Well, what'd you think about that tzatziki sauce?
That shit was low key good. Like it hit me. It hit different. It definitely hit different.
Yeah, it's really
And then
good.
my wife had the
wife
avocado
smashed.
toast, and then she had the
Sugar
donuts.
balls.
Sugar balls
She had
with
2 plates of sugar
Nutella.
balls.
She did.
I felt kind of bad. I was like, I couldn't tell if she hated it or was having a good time.
No,
she was having a good time.
oh, we're to the point. If she's not having a good time, she'll just say she's not having a good time. She doesn't fake things. Well, some things she fakes, but
Oh, thank you, BJ.
after 25 years, like
Deeper, BJ. That's the spot, BJ.
I mean, like I said, we went out to, like we said, we were there. I love Lincoln Square. We used to eat the one on Madison, Stop 11. That's her favorite place to go eat.
Yeah.
And, like yesterday we said, we went out for, coffee, went out for farmer's market and all that other stuff. So I did that suburbanite stuff. And then the next day to go out for brunch, and she's just like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Like you never go anywhere.
Well, you're an empty nester now.
Basically, yeah.
You got all your kids graduated.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one's got any felonies.
No,
You did it right.
This is your midlife crisis.
yeah, and I'm bored, so I decided let's try comedy. Let's try to go up here and make people chuckle.
Let's try comedy and going antiquing.
At 43 years old, let's start comedy. That sounds like a great idea.
Hey, Bernie Mac.
Well, here's the thing. The second it gets difficult, you could just not do it. That's fine.
Well, that's the good part about it is we talk about on our show is if we stop podcasting or we stop the open mic or whatever, it's just I'm okay with it. It's not gonna I'm not gonna be that upset by it. That's only thing that I have that's an issue is like if something goes away, I'm like, all right, and just move forward. Like I don't ever like look back like, oh, I'm like, all right, they're gone.
I definitely go through phases where I'm just like, man, I could take a year off of podcasting, but then also at the same time, like podcasting was the only, like I realized that like even like during the pandemic, I was still podcasting. Like that was the only thing you could do. Is like it's such just by virtue of being in the house.
There were so many that started too.
Oh yeah. The COVID. Well, that's. I was also worried about all the new comics that were going to start right after COVID because I feel like just a bunch of white dudes have been watching the Joker movie like on repeat, and they're like, if COVID ever breaks,
and then
I got some jokes.
And then everybody started with COVID jokes right after COVID ended.
Yeah, I
still are.
I still have to. Yeah, I had to retire mine after the competition. I was like, I'm going to do them in the competition, and then I got to stop.
You did a great job during that competition. I mean, you were my pick to win, and I still stand beside it.
My mom always said 7th place ain't bad. You know,
you ain't getting no 7.
I was technically there.
Maybe 4th or 5th, which is pretty close to 7, relatively speaking.
You know, they always make fun of millennials for getting participation trophies, and I was like, nobody gets a participation trophy. I went to my grandma. My grandma passed away. We were like cleaning out stuff. They had a ribbon that would hung up in my mom's room for like 20 years, and like I thought I got like first place at like a field day competition, and I was packing it away. It said participant on it, and I was like, I literally got a ribbon just for being a part of something.
I feel like if you had an autobiography, that's what it'd be titled.
Dyke Michael's participant.
Yes,
the participant.
The participant.
You've always been there. That sounds like a mental health issue. Like, what's wrong with him? He's a participant.
He's a participant. Don't look at him.
I remember they used to do like the little. I forgot what the fuck that race. It was like cross country back when I was in elementary. I had to think about it.
I thought you were going to say 3-legged race or something.
No. It was cross country. We had to run like around the whole school, and like at the end, they would give like the ribbons for the people that got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and they give like this big ass plaque. So everybody that got like participants would have to like run over there in this field and be in this big ass group, but they had the winners like getting all the hoopra and all the teachers around them, slapping them 5s and giving them candy and drinks. And here go all of us in this big ass, big ass fucking Jewish fucking soup kitchen type fucking about to get fucked up or something. You don't know what the fuck going on. They're like, all right, guys, now y'all come out and get your participation ribbons.
A Jewish soup kitchen?
This shit look crazy, bro. It's like some fucking.
Do you mean like the original ghetto? Is that what you're
That's what I'm saying. Like okay. Original, like they would put the winners in one circle and then just put
I thought it was gonna go darker.
Yeah, but he would know though. You like, why are we in this big ass bunch together? Like, all right, guys, come and get your ribbons and participate.
Like, why is that group in striped pajamas?
Yeah. Did they tattoo a number on you?
Oh no,
that's crazy.
Christmas.
I'm like, you took me back. I'm like,
I just remember it like just after this shit would be done. Like,
wait, you didn't
this big ass, and I remember like every grade. I remember I'm gonna win this shit, and I remember I got 5th place, and I felt so good. But they stopped doing like the big group. Everybody just like left. And I'm like, oh, they don't got to be in no big soup kitchen. Get this.
I was the discus champion in 8th grade for Jackson County.
Discus?
Yeah, I was discus champion. There was no participant. I was the champion.
Okay. They give you a belt
in Jackson County.
Yeah, it's pretty big county. But here's the problem, though. I threw one, and a van was driving down the school road, and I broke their window.
Oh, you slipped your discus.
You might have done them.
And then, being a poor kid, I started to cry because I thought my family would have to pay for it. And my teacher's just like screaming, like, "Oh my god, that's the best throw I've ever seen!" It's like, who's going to pay for the window? I was like, I don't give a shit. We'll figure it out. He was so happy that I did well, and that he wasn't worried about me destroying people's property.
I feel like you're describing a scene from Mighty Ducks where like the Dash Brothers, he's like, let me see if you guys should shoot. They like, are hitting it into like a suitcase and it hits the window. Yeah, you just took that from Disney.
Was your coach the coach because he got a DUI? Had to coach you.
No, I was thinking about this last night.
Your track and field team.
Drive on the ice.
You guys bring up a great point. Like somebody posted a picture. Somebody posted a picture of like, in our prayers, and it was like my grade school football coach. I was like, man, they don't make coaches like they used to. Like this guy would get out in fucking jeans and t-shirt, put a cigarette out before he came up and started coaching us, and then he'd have beer in his car. I'm like, that was our coaches when I grew up, right? They're not like these coaches now with analytics and their iPad and trying to figure stuff out. Like these are guys that had no kids, like 3 divorces,
Ex-lawyers.
yeah, and they would tell you inappropriate jokes, like and then they would just be like, "I want you to rip this kid's head off." And I'm like, this kid has like, he's like, this is a kid we shouldn't be bullying. He encouraged bullying. Like, I don't know, pickle him. It's fine.
I knew our coach was from the hood. That motherfucker came with some goddamn khaki shorts, some knee-high socks, and some Stacey Adams.
I may have had the same coach.
And always had a square lit and would just be talking dog shit to everyone. You gonna let that pussy ass little motherfucker do that shit?
There's a lot of men with rage issues.
Yeah, they started yelling that.
Pussy ass was his favorite word. Until to the point, you gonna let that pussy ass on 3. They ain't gonna whoop us, pussy. Like that was our damn.
Hey, this is why your dad left. This is why.
Quack, Mr. Duckworth.
Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
Yeah.
When I was on the show and I was bombing, I just kept making eye contact with Thad because he's just grinning ear to ear, and it was like that. It was like that Genesis song. They're like, I saw you were drowning. It was, didn't lend a hand.
I don't go purposely to see Dyke fail, but when he does fail, it is kind of like Christmas. It's kind of like,
it's like
Christmas
a special
in July.
kind of Christmas.
Yeah. It's like, like this. He hates this.
Yo, look,
Join us at patreon.com/harderbrunch.
Daddy BJ giving everybody dirty birthday buddy.
I did talk to his mom today though. We had a nice talk.
She said, "I love you, baby."
She said, "I love you, BJ," and I was just like, "Oh, made me feel good." But she wasn't dressed. She couldn't come out and say hi though. I was sad.
She said, "My titties is out." What?
Nate's like, "Put your titties up. Come out and say." I was like, "All right, can we just go now?" Like, I'm not comfortable with this.
You're part of the family. You're part of the family.
There's a line there.
Yeah.
No, you definitely are.
I talked to Thad's mom too, but we don't talk like that to each other. It's
I hope not.
It's just like, hey, how you doing? How's it going?
It's her birthday today, so.
Oh, her birthday's the day before yours?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
That was her little birthday.
Does that mean she always like gave up her birthday?
Nah, it sucked because we always celebrate the same birthday, and it was like the same cake, and I was like, "Well, I can't get my own."
I always felt kind of bad for people that had like birthdays near Christmas or other big holidays.
My mom's is December 2nd.
Yeah, that's rough.
Man, that's rough.
That's rough.
It's even rougher now because it's the day my dad died was December 2nd.
Oh, on her birthday?
Yeah.
Do you have a sad trumpet song we could play for that? I don't know if that's a sad trumpet.
That's a trumpet.
BJ's dad's dead.
Come out to the rock song. Dun, dun, dun.
I realize I say everything very matter of factly. So if it's something that's sad, like I'm not necessarily like I'm not trying to bring the room down or I just say things like, yeah, my mom's dead, or like I was doing a podcast when they pulled the plug on my mom and everyone's like, Jesus Christ. Or like, I mean, it's just a fact. What happened.
Oh man,
that's
man.
I mean, I remember when he was in the hospital and I'm like, hey, you need to rush down. I was like, all right, we'll finish it. We're about to finish with the podcast and I'll be down. Like, it's like, well, I have to finish this commitment, so just make sure he stays alive till I get down there.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you can always say about the dead is they're inconsiderate. People that are dying are very inconsiderate.
Yeah. It's always at like their time and not really like, when it's convenient to us.
You're not thinking about my plans.
Yeah, I had my homie pass away while I was on stage. My phone was just blowing. I'm like, who the fuck is it? And there's a big text message. Bro died, got shot. I'm like,
I tell people before shows, I say good news only. Good news. Like, we were at camp, and like by the time camp came around and people were coming up to me, I said, good news only. Good news only. Don't come to me with no bad energy, no bad problems,
no sob stories.
Real quick, I do want to. I don't want to get too much into week because we've been talking about summer camp for the past 3 months, but we did just celebrate adult summer camp, and it was a complete success. We did a live podcast from summer camp last week, but. man, I don't know. Can we give Zach the microphone for a second?
Yeah.
Zach, shout out to Zach. I feel like
Zach's the man.
Zach had a literal like file cabinet full of papers that he printed out for every single thing. So much so that the camp director, who's been directing a full camp since the 80s, was like, well, you guys put a lot of work into this weekend.
I saw the binders on Thursday when I was over there.
That was all Zach.
And I was excited. It's like, oh, you had binders. I started opening it up, like from being, what I do for a living. I was really excited about it.
Yeah, I had the binders on lock, so,
That's awesome.
I think people, because there is a thing that like Thad talks about sometimes is like definitely is like plays a character on the show, right? And so he's just like, I think some people think that like Thad is an idiot in real life sometimes. They forget like,
wow, is that is that really the perception?
How did it go there? I think he about to say something about
take the microphone away from him so we can't. Yeah, that makes sense.
We don't need you to defend yourself.
Yeah.
then what? Oh, hang on. Then what did they say about you, Dyke, off air?
Oh, probably the same thing. I assume it's real bad. But what I don't think what people think about is the fact that how much event background that the three of us have together collectively is probably like 30 years worth. And it's like
it's kind of like a law firm. You just add up the experience.
Yeah, add up all
over
the
98 years of
experience. Just real quick, what was your biggest takeaway from camp, Zach? Before we take your microphone back away,
eat fucking salt. Don't get dehydrated. But no, my big takeaway was I need to be at the rave next year because that was definitely the highlight.
Yeah, we heard about it from Terry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the rave was.
Terry broke it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have your plates? The other plates?
Oh yeah. And then I also wanted to. I think maybe we missed some things in the shuffle, and there was a plate that didn't get awarded. So Casey,
we did an award show last day, the Plaities.
As the non-binary wizard of camp.
This is very, very unexpected, but wow. Okay, so non-binary wizard of camp, the fluid druid, Casey Campbell. Wow. Wow. Thank you. And I like that it's also on a very ethical plate.
Yeah.
This seems like a very good choice.
Ethically sourced plate. And also, I think Zach really found your new nickname as the Fluid Druid.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that. You got a better plate than the other plates, so...
Put some fluid into it.
Well, as always, I do like being last and least.
Last and least.
I got a plate too. What was my plate, Zach?
Yours was for best event for the rave.
Seriously, I'm not exaggerating in any kind of way. I left before this, but the rave went till 5 in the morning.
That's what they saw you Saturday morning. Terry said he saw you Saturday morning, and you were still amped and ready to go.
Hey, you know what? I deliver. That's why they call me.
Would you plant the whole thing? Like, what'd you do? What was the planning
That's
process?
why they call him the mailman.
I mean, we had
the mailman.
He always delivers.
That's what they call me, the mailman.
Just don't do it to 16-year-olds.
Karl Malone.
Wow.
I had to throw one.
I gotta don't deliver to 16-year-olds. Well, that took a turn.
What kind of mailman did you have, girl?
Well, I'm talking about the mailman, Karl Malone. Damn it! I ain't want to drop his name.
I got you, Karl.
Shit, y'all slow. Come on, y'all put that.
I got it. I just wasn't going to feed into it.
I didn't know that about Karl Malone.
Yeah. Yep. That's why.
I shouldn't have said that.
Mm-hmm.
He's an R. Kelly.
Yeah. He was, but it was during a different time and era.
I mean, he married her, so it was fine.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
You know who the original Karl Malone is?
Ted Nugent?
Elvis Presley.
Well, yeah.
He was putting them.
He went to a different country.
Well, there was Elvis Presley. There was Jerry Lee.
Or no, he went to Hawaii.
Well, there's also Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry.
We were talking about summer camp. It turned into a long historical rock and roll gotcha podcast.
It's a slippery slope.
This is Hanson's popping down any minute.
Oh, Karl Malone impregnated a 13-year-old.
Oh,
that's
shit.
But that's not what you want to hear.
No.
That's way younger than 16.
But how old was he? Hopefully also 13.
Well, that's. I mean, he was. Hey, Karl Malone was hard to defend against. You know.
There it is. He brought it home. Thank you.
She had no D.
All right, let's not keep going. Jesus Christ.
He took it to the hole.
We had a
Hold on, man. That's not even something to even think about, too. What's this move? I'm just thinking about.
You brought it up.
I'm sorry. I didn't bring it up.
I love how the morals just kicked in. Like, wait a second.
Hold on a
What are we
second,
talking
guys.
about? Here's the thing:
This
the Harder
is
Brunch.
disgusting.
The Harder Brunch is against that. We've said it.
I know, but
say it publicly.
Yeah.
We're against.
Publicly, no.
How did it turn into this? Though? I threw it in as a pin, like
13.
a pun, like a little quick joke to move on, and this shit didn't turn into a whole goddamn.
It's a lot of after brunch energy on this podcast.
We almost made it through it. Almost made it through it.
Damn it, man. That's gonna come.
We were
back.
talking about fond memories for summer camp.
It's not going to
I don't know what happened.
It's not
here.
going to. It's not going to come back.
We took a
don't
left.
care.
Now, here's my question.
You like
Next year, we already got a date booked. Are you guys going to be able to make it down for adult
When
summer
is it?
camp?
Wait. Are we booked, or you just want us to come? That's the question.
Well, right now it's just open. Right now, it's just
Right now,
Hey,
Be lucky I'm letting y'all
keep the
know.
weekend open.
right now, we haven't sold a ticket yet.
Hey, I told you they had the. I told you they.
Hold on, you brought a binder. You should have had that shit in that binder. God damn it! What the
We
fuck?
might need a comedian. We might need a janitor. you gotta be on board for whatever.
Hey, book me for the rave. I can help with that one.
I will be there. I will be there if I can get a walkie-talkie and me and Zach can communicate back and
Here's
forth.
the thing.
I do what.
Go ahead.
I do want to say something about the rave. We decorated it. We had glow in the dark sticks and glow in the dark everything, flashing lights. Beth helped out with like some of the
It
lights.
really looked amazing. Like literally, like this place is. It's like a structure up in the woods, and they had like glow in the dark sticks all up this trail, like leading you to it. And they had these like balloons that had lights in them and stuff. Like this is a camp I grew up with, and I was like, this is the coolest I've ever seen this shit. Like it really looked like something different.
And the day before the camp, I messaged Jessica West. I ran into her. I said, "You should come to the camp." She's like, "Oh, I thought I missed it." I'm like, "Yeah, you could still come." She's like, "Can my roommate come?" She's a DJ, Becca Brains. Shout out to Becca Brains because she made that happen. She DJ'd all night. She's like, "How long do you want me to DJ?" I was like, "Oh, maybe an hour." But she just kept going and going and going. And
that's
so
what's up. You had to
she's
pay.
going to be back next year, hopefully.
People asked her to stop, and she's like, "Nope,
Nope. No, but she killed it as a DJ, and
Nice.
we want to do bigger. That's how Harder Brunch does. Every year we want to top ourselves.
That's dope. That's dope that she just walked up and just did it.
Yeah,
You know
she
what I mean?
she
Just-
came the next day and brought her equipment. It rained for an hour, and we were just like in this little place, and everybody was stuck and had to dance for the whole time. So it was good. So thank you for that.
No, like you guys put off a great job.
What was the music? Boom, boom, boom.
We had a few different. We had Sirius Black there. We had Clint Breeze.
Shout out to
Tubbles.
Clint.
Yeah, shout out to Clint. He's going to go
shout out
on
to Clint.
tour with Duran Jones.
Oh yeah, nice.
I saw you posted that.
That's the most famous that we got in Indianapolis right now. Like that's a big deal. All right,
So I mean, we would be more than happy to
go.
Go.
Buy a ticket.
Well, I don't know. You might want to. You might want to book us now. At that point, may try and be like we may turn you down. So
Fans, but I still got the title.
You could bring your wife. You know. Like,
why?
You should bring your wife.
Why does everything always have to be?
Because you could get the cutest couple award. There was like a lot of good couples. I saw like
That's-
couples get closer. I think we healed some marriages. To be honest,
Wow,
with you.
that's a goal. Wow,
I definitely think we broke up one.
Well, yeah, that is true.
So, hey, it's a place for marriages to go to either mend or.
What happened?
Well, this is more of an after brunch conversation.
What happened? What happened?
I will say this. I made a joke early on Friday. I go, and this was like the most random thing. I go, I hope nobody comes to summer camp to try to save their marriage. And then like a few hours later, I was like, I think some people came to summer camp to try to save their marriage.
That's
You
hilarious.
never go on a weekend getaway to save your relationship.
Never.
You have to stand in the living room and fight it out.
It kind of felt like
You have to go to every room in the house and scream before you figure it out. Like you're not going to go out. Like don't be that couple that breaks up in front of like a mass group of people because everybody's gonna be like, that's what you're always going to be remembered as. Like, oh yeah, I met him. Oh yeah, they was the one that screamed and yelled at each other and said, "I hope you die a horrible death." Yeah,
Dude, I hate fighting in front of other people.
Yeah,
I
it's just
hate like I'm
ridiculous.
just like I don't care how mad you are. Save that shit till we get home.
like-
Let's not have a public meltdown. Also, don't do it on Facebook either. Like, keep that. It's so
Don't try
tacky.
to cuck your husband at our camp. This is it's not a cuck camp. It's not one of those camps where you can cuck your husband.
But you did. I didn't.
Jesus.
But I didn't see that. I didn't see that on the brochure though. Well, you couldn't.
We'll have it in the rules.
It's not on the rules. It wasn't in the rules.
Like motherfucking damn.
It was weird.
Damn. Stabbed in that bitch.
I would say the surprise sleeper hit of the summer, which really surprised me. You know, it was really popping. Archery. Everybody was talking about how fun archery was.
I told you.
And I was like to me, it's like archery's fun for 5 minutes. Archery is a little bit more fun than darts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's really fun for about 5 minutes, and then once you go pull them things out and do it like twice, and like I'm good. People were so excited about archery. People were like, "Oh yeah, we did archery all afternoon."
Do you guys think you can
axe throwing?
Can you guys have like a semi-automatic competition next year?
Oh, for guns?
Yeah.
For the NRA?
It is a
We get sponsored by
children's church camp, so I don't know. I don't know. If
Who do you
they'd
think
be able
Tommy had to shoot? Was a Christian?
I think that's true. I think if it was a Boy Scout camp, we'd be more likely to be able to do some.
I'm not
shooting.
going to Boy Scout
dope.
camp. No.
I did want to source some jarts. I did want to play some lawn darts.
The most dangerous thing in the
The
world.
most dangerous.
We had those as a kid, and then we didn't know how to play. We just started throwing them up in the air.
Yeah, that's what everyone did. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just threw them up in the air and run away. And,
We actually had one of those Chinese blowing dart things too.
I
I'm saying a
You know what those
blowjob.
are?
It's called a blowjob spitter.
No, is it?
Wow, no wonder our podcast hasn't taken off. No, you've never seen those that are illegal in Indiana. You know what I'm talking about, right? You're not old enough.
I'm not old.
The ones with the poison on the end?
They can have it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I've always wanted to hit somebody with that.
Yeah.
did you see they just made Chinese throwing stars legal in Indiana?
Are you
That was-
serious?
it was literally
Oh, about a
like
grand
it was
slam.
literally like a full point thing, and it was like women have no more rights. But Chinese fucking throwing stars legal again.
Gotta get that Chinese
Indiana's
delegation.
wild. Indiana is
You know how many
I feel like Indiana's like slowly preparing for a war. Like just
with everybody.
guns, carries, like well, just get it out. 18-year-olds, who cares?
every white person out of 465 celebrated
We're
that.
not selling weed, but you can get a gun.
They're on Chinese throwing star day here soon.
But then they have dab bars, you know? Like it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dab bar now.
there's these weird loopholes.
Is that where what's his name? works
Kyle
at?
Buck.
Shout out Kyle Buck.
Yeah, shout out Kyle Buck. Yeah, he's always talking, and I was just like, man, do people get like? I feel like if I just went to a dab bar,
What is a dab bar?
It's a bar that
Sells dabs?
You smoke dabs at, and they do like mocktails and stuff like that. So it's
But
big-
what's in a dab there? Because I know what's in a normal dab.
It's like a D8 dab.
Stands for drugs at boiling point. So basically, you have a wax.
For a guy that's never smoked weed, he knows a lot about
Wait,
it.
I thought that was heroin that you boil, like on a
Well,
spoon.
They take a torch and they boil it, and then they put the wax on
Wax
there.
in there and-
That has D8, so it makes it legal because it's not D9. The weed is actual D9, but it's like a little bit like it's the cousin of weed.
Yeah.
He sounds like a cop.
I passed Dare. All right, so
Did you get to go in the Camaro, the Dare Camaro car?
He took a picture with Scruff McGruff.
You know, you gotta tell us if you're a cop, right? You know, you gotta say that.
but you guys know about the whole story about Scruff McGruff?
Come on now.
Hold on. Before you tell the whole story, I gotta tell you, the only reason I learned my phone number was because McGruff was like,
Okay.
it was the 80s, and they were like, adults are gonna try to kidnap you. It's gonna happen sooner or later. You need to know your address and your phone number for when the kidnapping happens. And I was like, shit, McGruff, like, let's figure this out.
That jingle stayed with me. I even know like where it was. Remember, he was like Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. I know the fucking zip code. Like, that's how fucking stuck that shit was. With
I
me.
got I had the little puppet. I think I still have it. I have
They worth a lot of money too on eBay.
What you have to do to get
If
a
you go on
puppet?
eBay right now with a Scruff
Therapy.
McGuff fucking dog, you're gonna make some bread, bro.
Well,
they worth more than wrestling.
They did one of those. It was in therapy. Where did this dog touch you at? So you had to point to.
Oh, see, that's too dark.
How's it too dark?
Too dark.
rough.
I don't think he dealt with those type of cases. Scruff McGruff. I don't remember that at all. Where he touched you.
That was Scruff McGruff.
How are you able to say that?
No, I don't know if you guys
He was special victims unit dog after
I
all.
don't know if you guys had this, but we had a separate cop come in to school in kindergarten, and it was Officer Friendly, and Officer Friendly told us about molestation.
Yeah, I did.
And like I remember, like they gave us the whole talk. It was just called Good Touch, Bad Touch back then, and they were just like, yeah, it was like, you know, when your parents touch you, that's a good touch, but like when a crazy,
We've come to find out that's not.
when another adult touches you, that could be a bad touch.
Could.
And I remember we had this whole talk, and then we got done, and we went to the bathroom, and like 5 seconds after the meeting got out, and this kid, Michael Standish, came up and his open hand slapped me as hard as he could on the ass, and he goes, I guess that's a bad touch.
Yeah.
Until you looked at him and said, fooled you.
Oh shit!
Oh, you said fooled you?
Yeah, fooled.
I
thought you said Jew.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm about to be
I was
like,
like,
Nacho!
I was like, we like Jewish people here.
I don't know. That's the second time he thought Jew on this episode over here.
No, I didn't.
Here, let me just tell you guys a
You
little
know,
bit
Kyrie
more.
Irving me over here. You better stop.
Let me just tell you a little bit more about Scruff McGruff here. I'm gonna
Chicago,
let you
Illinois.
know what happened with him. Now,
Hey,
Scruff
look,
McGruff was
they only gave
known.
him- he only had a fucking helmet. That's it. The dog.
Yeah,
hat. That's it. Though.
He's
And the
pitching.
hands.
Look at him. He's pitching at like the World
That's a-
Series or something
that's
like
a
that.
regular man
He has
body.
Some cool pants on.
With a fucking hands and a fucking hat. That's
You
it.
wanted more of a chimera like dog.
I used to
wanted to
think
be
it
on-
was a whole dog. No, like, hold on, supposed to have a dog.
Wait,
If
you
that
wanted to be
motherfucker
on all
took his-
fours?
I wanted that motherfucker to have a fur chest and everything. He's a whole man with
He's
some
a cop.
gloves,
He's a cop.
but a dog face.
Nate, he's a cop in a trench coat.
He's a weathered dog. Yeah, he's seen a lot of shit.
Yeah, look
He's
at
a
his
dog
face,
man. He a
man.
dog
He
man.
does. His eyes do kind of look kind of beady like.
Yeah, he's seen some shit.
Yeah, he like it is.
He just kind of looks
Like he
like.
just woke up.
You smell like weed.
He's like, hey kid, you know how many dead kids I fished out of the river? They didn't know their address and phone number.
They only want to listen.
So all you got to do is dial. Scruff
So
McGruff.
let me tell you what happened to Scruff McGruff. He got a little bit of trouble because he was trying to tell kids not to do crime or do weed. He's a dog against crime, and then he got 16 years.
Wait. Is that regular years or dog years?
Hey, give him an applause.
Got him
button.
there. That's an applause.
See, you are a comedian. I told
There
you.
you go. There you go.
So when police raided his house, they seized 1,000 marijuana plants and 9,000 rounds of ammunition
God
for
damn, what was
an
he getting ready
assortment
for?
of 27 weapons, including a grenade launcher.
Let's go.
Because McGruff must have a lot of enemies. Now, a good guy, the only way you stop a bad guy
wanna know
is
who
have a
Scruff
good
McGruff-
guy with a grenade launcher.
You wanna know who Scruff
and a dog
McGruff-
in a dog costume. Quit interrupting me, man.
You want to know who Scruff McGruff was?
What's up?
Nito Brown?
The plug. That's what the fuck he was.
I mean, it really is a resemblance of the CIA of the 80s. It's like, actually, we sell that. And then we're going to arrest you.
It sounds like the operation they ran at the border when they armed the cartels, and it actually blew up in their face because the cartels
Damn,
got
they
stronger.
locked him up though. They got the whole video.
I want the
Are you serious?
I want the made for TV movie where Scruff McGruff the crime dog is just a narco trafficker.
Yeah, he really was. Look, he's playing the piano there. There's, black and white kids, redheads.
Look at his animation though.
And, yeah, he's just playing the piano. That's the animation. But the guy that played his voice and the guy in the suit was doing some crime.
But here's the... I don't know if I'm trusting my kids without no supervision. Look, like
There's a guy with the crutches.
Oh man,
Me all messed up.
they got some floozies.
Wait, what is that?
I don't know what's going on there.
If you guys are trying to follow along on the podcast, go just watch the Scruff McGruff commercials. There's a lot of 80s haircuts, and they're singing "Take a Bite Out of Crime."
Take a bite out of
And
crime.
he took a bite of the crown and swallowed it and spit it back out and
Yeah,
did all that.
60652.
I had the double sided tape, and like I gotta be honest, not all of it. Some of the songs were bangers, but they are not all created.
Which one?
Like there's like
Sing one.
I think there's like a Crack is Whack song that's pretty good.
Oh, you
but
gotta
then he's
play
got
it.
one where he's just like weed is also bad too. I was like, that's not.
And he felt
Not
like
a hit.
he wasn't really into that one. He was like, weed's not
we can
terrible.
throw that into, even though I sell it.
It's like, but sometimes you gotta protect your weed plants with a grenade launcher.
They kept letting him go into evidence room and show him like, this is everything we got. And he's like, all right, give
Man,
me a
Scruff
minute.
was a snitch. He
Yeah.
probably was in there there like, it's your 5th week time coming here, Scruff. God damn it, I'll tell you what.
What other character from the 80s to get locked up? You think he finally ratted on Scooby and Shaggy?
I think Scruff
probably the only
has a
one.
lot of Evansville energy. I gotta say,
He has a lot of Bedford energy.
Oh,
down
yeah.
there.
Oh, there we go.
Bedford.
Like yeah.
But like 1,000 weed plants, that sounds like a lot. But like that could be a really cool dude. You could be a really chill dude, have 1,000 weed plants.
No.
27 weapons with a grenade launcher sounds like maybe you're skating into not chill dude territory.
Sound like you are out
I
here.
kind of like it. Like people gave it up to him. Like, hey, you changed my life, and like I don't need this grenade launcher anymore. And so,
He did a don't ask, don't tell on the guns like the cops do. Get the take back of the guns. Like we can't ask you where the guns came from. Like I gave all my guns to McGruff. You gave all your guns to a fake character.
do you think he would accept it in the costume?
What's the zip code?
He's just sitting around in his
652.
He's just sitting around in his costume with stroking his grenade launcher.
Hey, put that on the trunk.
Oh shit! Casey brought up the album, Cocaine and Crack. We can't hear it on here. What? It's kind of a banger.
My question is, how is that guy 41 years old in 2020, whatever that was, when he's been out since the 80s? Was it the guy that took over the voice?
I think he just had an old voice, maybe.
Well, that means the guy had to be doing the voice like 16 in the 80s or 15. Because it said 41 years old in 2016 or 2012. He was arrested and he was 41 in 2012. And it was out like in what, 83?
Maybe it was the modern.
Well, I'm guessing he probably like the suit grew. Like they started him out young.
They only gave him a head and some gloves.
When he started off, he was just a puppet.
Yeah, but look at that. Look at the outfit though. He has a trench coat on.
Yeah.
And nothing underneath. No shirt on.
and some what the fuck are those?
That's that dog chest hair that Nate wanted to see so bad earlier.
He's got those
He got on some, what are those? Motherfucker got on some paws.
I think, if you're thinking about drugs
And
for
some
30
checker
years,
pants.
you're gonna try them at some point because he's got to have that. Like, hey, wait, how bad is this really? I've been
bad
singing
is this crack cocaine
jingle for 30 years.
Let me try it.
Yeah, but it also goes back to the fact
Grenade
I
launcher. Let me get these plants. Scruff McGruff. I got it for the low. 6'4", 6'5", 2.
Now you can see Scruff McGruff at a strip club now. He's like, he's done his time.
he's a bouncer now.
Hey, get off that bitch. You know, touching women is wrong.
By the way, you got any of that nose candy?
Him and Carl Malone were bunk baits. They're bunk baits.
They're starting a jazz band with O.J. Simpson.
Can you drop a beat for me, Sauce Boss, before this goes any further?
Hey, man, before we end this, man, I just got to say this, man. R.I.P. to Mike Trees, man. Pioneer in the city, man. I don't know if anybody know him on Harder Brunch, but definitely a good dude. Passed away yesterday, man, so I just want to drop that, man. We will miss you, Mike. Thank you for allowing me to get this far in this game. Even though I ain't shit,
Yeah,
I
you ain't
appreciate
shit.
you just allowing me to hit them stages and make that type of money you was really giving me. So appreciate you, brother. I'll miss you.
R.I.P. BJ. Where can people find you and follow you on social media?
It's Fresh or Clean Podcast on Instagram. It's at BJ_ on Instagram. And then the same goes for Facebook. Our episodes come out every Monday. Part 2 is being dropped with Terry and his lovely wife, Ricky.
Yeah.
And it's Nate, I, and then Morgan Lee. Morgan Lee come out it comes out every Monday night around 11, something like that. Catch us every Thursday in Indy. If you're in Indy, Chicken and Chuckles over there on Pendleton Pike. Wonderful.
6880 Pendleton Pike.
It's spelled with
Pull
it.
up, ho.
It's
We gonna
spelled.
go ahead and give you a nice ass show. This beat is cold, so I'ma rock this hoe. You know me, Nate Dogg from the 34. I'm out here rocking. Yes, my soul day, sipping on that yak. Finna get me some tail, cause my bitch done left. But shit is okay, cause motherfucker about to get goddamn paid. I'm with the Harder Brunch. We out here sipping and chilling with my dogs, Dyke and Thad, chilling. We out here grilling, out here looking for hoes. I'm the champ, he the motherfucker workman though. I put my white man to work, now he funny and a bitch, and we about to book key shows and get these bitches and riches. Nigga, you already know what's up. Had to drop the beat. What's up? Hey,
That was the best plug I've ever heard.
Yeah, you like that beat, don't you?
that'd be cold.
That's one of mine.
You ain't never played that one?
That's because they own it.
You need to take it back.
Thaddaeus.
Hey, turn that beat up a little bit.
Oh, there we go, Thad. Hold on, Morgan. You got to jump on this motherfucker.
No, she don't. She's at After Brunch.
This ain't your studio. Sit down over there.
Hold on, man. I just know she can free. I bet she can freestyle though.
Well, we'll hear it at the After Brunch.
He's telling you to go on and get.
Go get. Go ahead, Thad. Drop that shit.
Don't forget, BJ's half Mexican. Come on.
What you gonna rhyme with that? What you gonna rhyme with that?
Remix.
Nate, don't come back on my show and text again.
My dog.
Bringing those belts like you flex again. I'm done.
Come on, Thad.
I think my rhymes are too funny and you guys are going to laugh. And
Nah, just ride that shit and I'm going to jump on that motherfucker.
I like
as soon as
how
you start
all your rhymes about BJ were like, he's the work man. He does all the work for the podcast.
He the work man. He the white man. Put the motherfucker to work and go work, man.
You like me better if I was Jewish, it sounds like,
Nah,
too.
hell. You my dog, though. Nah, for real, though, man. I really, hey, this whole year, man, I like I said, man, had some ups, downs, but real shit, man, I made a great friend out the whole thing, so I wouldn't give anything up for what we,
So what he's trying to
transpired.
At Fab McKee Instagram.
So what he's trying to say is find yourself a good white band to make friends with if you're a minority.
Oh, we got one. Our work man is Sauce Zach.
and when he's not here,
Speaking of work, man, you can find me at Zach_Rowan on all social media.
Nate Skate Comedy.
Also, you can check out Casey Campbell, aka the Fluid Druid, at Danger Brewer.
Yeah.
Across all social media. I'm at Dyke Michaels. We have a Patreon episode, patreon.com/Harder Brunch. Only $3 to get access to our entire Patreon library, where we have really funny up and coming comedians coming on. And sorry, Champ, did you wanted to say that?
I was over
He's like pointing to the belt.
how many episodes does this get us?
Get changed. Get some ones.
I'll have this many Patreons, please.
How many episodes is this?
I've never had someone try to buy a Patreon episode like a crackhead before.
Hey, man, when you dropping that?
Hey, I got it, so don't worry about
Y'all
it.
got some more of them Patreon episodes.
Drop another one, bro. Let's talk.
And as always, we like to sign off by saying shout out to McGruff the Crime Dog.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that voice again. Do that voice again.
Crack and cocaine is whack. Everybody knows.
It'll make you for a rough
Voice
day.
again. Do the
Scruff McGruff. Kids, don't do drugs like I did. It'll get you time, 16 years. 3 years older than Carl Moans into.
Shout out to Lil Luffa.
Oh, yeah.
Lil Luffa.
King Luffa.
King Luffa.
Young Luffa or King Luffa?
King Luffa.
I think
like
Young
King.
Luffa is the rapper. I think King Luffa is the wrestler.
Our goal is
like
to eventually
it.
have everybody with a name a king of something by the end of 2023.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm King Luffa now.
Yeah.
King Luffa.
King Luffa. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week with the regular episode. Bye-bye.
Peace.